Hello teachers, learners, and parents. Sir Jeff po, at your service. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong website na tinatawag na DepEd Commons? Ang DepEd Commons ay binuo upang gawing accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral dito sa ating bansa gamit lamang ang inyong mga smart devices gaya ng cellphones, tablets, at computers. Dito ay maaari nating ma-access ang iba't ibang learning materials mula sa Department of Education. Meron itong mga interactive materials, electronic self-learning modules, at instructional video lessons mula sa DepEd TV na tiyak na makatutulong sa pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral galing ka man sa public o private school. Walang problema dahil welcome ang lahat dito. Para ito sa mga guro, magulang at mga mag-aaral mula sa kinder hanggang grade 12, alternative learning system o ALS, at pati na rin ang special education. At huwag kang mag-alala dahil kahit walang load ay maaari mong ma-access ang mga learning materials. Tama! Libre ito. Ang kailangan mo lamang gawin ay i-on ang iyong data at buksan lamang ang iyong browser at i-type ang commons.deped.gov.ph. Alam na ba ng iyong mga kasamahang guro o mag-aral ang tungkol sa DepEd Commons? I-share mo na ang video na ito upang matuto rin sila kung paano gagamitin ang DepEd Commons sa mabilis at napakadaling paraan. Muli, ito po si Sir Jeff at kita-kits po tayo sa DepEd Commons. Paalam!
Magandang araw! Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETULay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETULay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETULay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Ayan! Hello at magandang buhay sa ating lahat and welcome sa ating week 8 session ng ating ETULay session sa pre-calculus. Ayan, mabati-bati muna ako sa mga nanonood natin ngayon. Okay, hello! Ayan, number 1 na naman ang aming estudyante sa San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School. Hello, Daichi Vallejo from San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School. Hello din kay Miss or Mr. Miranda ba to? Chriselle Ann Isel, watching from Kudal National High School. Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga Kudal National High School. Good day po from Annalyn Aznades Iba. Hello po. And then watching from Santa Mesa National High School Senior High School Department. Yan, si Ma'am Annalyn nga. Hello po sa lahat ng nanonood. So, please do share our video for today, our session. And for sure, maraming po kayong matututunan. Ay, nandyan na naman ang aking Lodi, Sir Edwin Lugtu from SDO Pasig. Thank you, Sir Lugtu, for watching. And we also have Haji Katipunan Jimeno Parami. Hi, Sir, from Rojas National High School, Rojas Tapas, Capiz. Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga-Capiz. Ayan, okay, sige. I'm going to share my PowerPoint for today's session. So we are down to the last week of second quarter of pre-calculus. So next week, hopefully, mabigyan rin tayo ng time para magkaroon rin tayo ng session sa panibagong subject, which is the basic calculus. So keep in mind ha, mga STEM students, na ang pre-calculus po ay prerequisite ng basic calculus, and ang basic calculus naman ay prerequisite ng General Physics 1 at General Physics 2. Ayan. So, bati-bati muna ulit tayo kay Glo Fabon. Good afternoon. Watching from Asebron Hill, Palawan. Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga-Palawan. Ayan, habang ako ay nagpe-prepare na i-share screen ang aking PowerPoint ngayon. Ayan. So, hello din kay Daisy Prosperous Cervantes. Ang ganda naman ng kanyang pangalan. Hello po, Ma'am Daisy, watching from Bulacan. Hello po. Ayan, watching from RNCHS. Ano kaya ibig sabihin ng RNCHS? Sir Ronald Aborot. Hello, Sir Ronald, at sa lahat ng mga taga-RNCHS. Hello rin kay Winnie Salaung, watching from Bolbok, Batangas City. Hello po. Si BGY Michelle, Allen Nicole Padilla is watching here from Montalban, Rizal. Kapitbahay natin ng mga taga Montalban. Hello po sa inyo. Naandyan rin si Dayanara from MHPNHS. Ayan. Comment kayo kung ano ibig sabihin ng mga acronym ng inyong mga school para mabati natin mamaya. Okay, but for now, we're going to start. Once again, this is the last topic, or I guess this is Module 17. Ang author po nito ay ang aking former subject group head in research, Sir Ron Robert Pecania. Maraming salamat po muli sa pagpapaunlak po na magamit ang inyong module po ng pre-calculus, Module 17, from the Division of Pasig City. Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga-Division of Pasig City. Hello rin sa aming rank 1 ng kanyang batch, Mr. Francis Jerome Gadoy Swallow, pa-shoutout po. Siyempre naman, Jerome, hindi kita kakalimutan i-shoutout because you bring such pride and honor sa ating San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School. Okay, so magsimula na po tayo. So here's our lesson for today, solving trigonometric equation. Ayan, so gagamit ako ng laser pointer ulit, ang aking favorite na laser pointer. So sa lahat ng mga nanonood, please do comment kung ano ang inyong idea na about sa ating solving trigonometric equation lesson. That is very welcome. Let us all engage ideas. So I know na meron rin ako matututunan mula sa inyo. Ayan, nanonood rin ang aking former kasamahan sa Our Lady of Pilar Montessori Center, Miss Marge Vasco Vivero. Hello, Miss Marge. Yan. Okay, so let's proceed to our lesson for today. So an equation involving one or more trigonometric ratios of unknown angles is called a trigonometric equation. Okay, tandaan natin yan ha. Okay, next. Okay. In other words, an equation is considered a trigonometric equation when it contains a trigonometric expression with a variable such as, sige nga, magbigay nga kayo sa ating comment section, magbigay kayo ng mga example of trigonometric expression. Sige nga. Ayan, habang naghihintay ako ng inyong mga sagot, babati mula ulit ako. Hello kay Sally U. Milosa Inot, watching from Baybay, Leyte. Hello po sa mga taga Leyte. Okay. I hope after ng pandemic na ito ay makapasyal naman tayo dyan sa Leyte, no? Hello rin ay sa aming isa sa mga estudyante namin from San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School, Shaira Kagurangan Anapi. Hello, Shaira. Thanks for watching. Sana sinishare mo rin ang ating video ngayong araw, ang ating ETULay session. Hello rin kay Ma'am Florita Ergasel Luzano, watching from PCPG DVSFA. Hello, Ma'am Florita, sa lahat ng mga po. Lahat po ng mga students ninyo and parents and learners po mula sa inyong paaralan. Hello rin kay Crisologo Tero Alejandro III, watching from Banisil National High School, General Santos City. Hello, hello, hello rin sa mga tuna dyan sa Gensan. Okay, sige po, magbigay po tayo ng example ng mga trigonometric expression na naaalala ninyo. Ayan. Hello kay Jackie Chan Eleonora, watching from CAA National High School, Las Piñas. Ayan, former teacher rin ako ng Las Piñas. Hello, hello sa mga taga Our Lady of Pilar Montessori Center. Okay, so ito na, re-reveal ko yung mga example of trigonometric expression na alam ko. We have the cosine x, okay, that I am going to cite here. Okay, we also have sine x and tan. And we also have other trigonometric expression na I'm sure alam na alam ninyo, kaya i-comment nyo na yan. Okay. Of course, like what we have done for other types of equation, we are going to solve trigonometric equation by finding all the values of x. Okay? When we say values of x, values of the variables unknown. Hindi po porket x lang ang ating mga variable na ating may encounter dito. Okay? That will make, of course, if it's an equation, okay, that will make the equation true. Okay? So let's now proceed to our example. Excited na ba kayo? Ako rin, excited na ako. Okay? So nawa, na-share na natin ang video na ito. Okay? Okay, let us consider sine x equals 1/2. Okay? So we have now the graph of y equals sine x here. Okay? Next natin. Okay, so we have here now the graph of y is equal to sine x. Okay, so let us consider this equation y equals sine x and sine x is equal to 1/2. Okay, looking at the graph of y is equal to sine x along with the line y is equal to 1/2. So ito yun, no? Itong blue line, this is the graph of our y equals 1/2. Okay. So as shown in this figure, the x values of the intersection of the two graphs, no? The graph of y equals 1/2 and the graph of y equals sine x, okay, the intersection of these two is the solution of our, or are the solution of our given equation sine x is equal to 1/2. O ano ba yung mga equation na, or ano ba yung mga intersection na iyon? Sige nga, comment nyo naman dyan. Okay? Sabi ni Aljon Alabado Katiban, another types of trigonometric expressions are cotangent x, cosecant x, and secant x. Thank you very much, Aljon. Tama ang iyong mga sagot. Okay. So as seen on the graph, if we are going to consider the interval, x must be greater than or equal to 0, but less than or equal to 2pi, ano-ano kaya yung mga intersection ng dalawang graph na ito? Okay, sige nga, tingnan natin sa inyong mga comment section. Sige, while I am waiting for your answer for the intersection of y equals 1/2 and the graph of y equals sine x, okay, concerning this interval, babati muna ulit ako. Okay, hello kay Maria Teresa Whale. Hello, watching from Makilala National High School, Cotabato Division. Ayan. Sabi ni Daichi Vallejo, napakagaling talaga ng aming estudyante na ito, 30 degrees and 150 degrees. So ang binigay na sagot ni Daichi ay in degree measure. Okay. So how about in radian measure? Tingnan natin what mukha kasing radian measure ang nalagay ko dito, no? Okay, so it's pi over 6, okay, which is equal to 30 degrees. Okay, yan review tayo the radian measure and the degree measure. Importante yan in trigonometry, okay? We also have 5 pi over 6, which is also equal to 150 degrees. Okay, ayan. Okay, thank you po sa inyong mga sagot. Tonjo, main day, shout out daw, watching from Surigao City. Hello. Okay. LC Helancio Ignacio, watching from Manaksak High School. Ayan, thank you Daichi also for being active. Maraming salamat. Top 1 ka na naman ngayon sa ating session. Okay. So tingnan natin. If we remove the restriction, okay, in our given interval here, then there will be infinitely many solutions. Because sine function, ayan, mag-fill in the blank tayo dito mga anak. Because sine function is periodic with a period of, sige nga, tingnan natin, period of 1. Okay. So, reviewin muna natin, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng period? When we say period, it is considered as what? Okay, sige nga, comment rin kayo dyan. Okay, when we say period, it is considered as how long will it take for the graph to complete one cycle. Okay, sige nga, comment nyo naman kung ano ang period ng ating sine function. Sige nga. So habang naghihintay ako ng inyong sagot, hello din kay Aljon Alabado Katiban. Grade 12 na ako pero pinapanood ko pa din to. I love this topic. Oh, thank you, Aljon. Watching from Antipas National High School, Cotabato Division. Hello po sa mga taga Cotabato Division. Nakasamahan ni Aljon. Hello, Aljon. Okay, sige. Ang period ng ating sine function ay at 2 pi. Okay? Other solutions are obtained by adding 2k pi. Sir, our tutor Romel, saan galing si K? Mamaya malalaman natin. To either of the previous solution, thus the solution of sine x equals 1 half, or, tingnan natin, so here are the solutions now. Pi over 6 plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. Ayun pala, Tutor Romel, kailangan pala ang k ay integer. Tandaan natin na k must be an integer. Okay? And we also have pi over 6. Okay? So we have pi over 6 plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. Okay? Nakuha nyo ba yon? Thumbs up naman tayo dyan kung nakuha natin ang ating unang example. Okay? So, bati ulit ako. Richelle Andonga Raimundo, Eviona Raimundo from Kaunlaran High School, Junior High. Hello, Richelle. Okay. Pamela Jane G. Lucion. Ano kaya yung ibig sabihin ng comment mo na end? Okay. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Okay. So, let us now proceed to our next example. Ayan. Sabi ni Richelle Andonga Raimundo, mahirap naman yan. Okay, pero kayang-kaya natin to, Richelle Andonga Raimundo. Kaya nga tayo nagsama-sama ngayon dito sa ETULay session para mapadali yung mga mahihirap na lesson. Okay? Okay, sige, next na tayo. Ayan. Okay, so let us consider to find all the solutions of cosine theta, di ba? This is cosine theta equals 1 half. Okay, sige nga po. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Sige, kung alam nyo na ang sagot, please do comment down your answer. Okay, pero pag hindi nyo pa alam, okay lang. Sabay-sabay tayo, okay? Let us journey, okay? Sabay-sabay nating alamin ang sagot or solution for cosine theta equals 1 half. Okay? So, tingnan natin. Okay. So, fill in the blanks ulit tayo. So, first, find all the solutions in the interval 0, 360 degrees. Okay? So, as we all know, 0, 360 degrees is the same as 0, 2 pi. Okay? So, in the previous lesson, kahapon din, last Friday, diniscuss natin to. Okay? In the previous lesson, we know that theta is equal to the cosine inverse of 1 half. Okay? Which is equal to what? Sige nga, comment nga natin. Okay. Sige, habang naghihintay ako ng comment, sige, magbabasa muna ulit ako. Ulit I am going to repeat my question. Theta is equal to the cosine inverse of 1 half, which is equal to what? Sige nga. Patingin naman ang inyong mga sagot. Okay. So, this is equal to, okay, sige, it is equal to 60 degrees. Kung maalala natin, this is our previous lesson last Friday. So, since cosine positive is, or cosine is positive in quadrants, sa mga quadrants ba positive si cosine? Sige Okay nga? Based on your previous lesson, saan nagpa-positive si cosine. Okay? So we have quadrant 1. Sa quadrant 1, positive pala si cosine. Yan ay review lang ha from our previous lesson, mga STEM students. Okay? And also, cosine is positive in quadrant number 4. Okay? So therefore, bukod sa 60 degrees, okay, we can also say that 360 or 300 degrees is also a solution. Okay? Moreover, cosine function is periodic with period 1. Okay? Saang period? Okay, so what's the period of our cosine function? Sige nga. Okay, hintayin natin. Ayan, may sumagot na dito. Okay, si Daichi ulit sumagot. Thank you, Daichi. Okay, so our cosine function is also periodic in 360 degrees or in region measure 2 pi. Okay, so thus we can say that the solution are at 60 degrees. Okay, tama yung sagot mo, Daichi, because the region measure of 60 degrees is pi over 3. Very good. Okay, plus 360 degrees times k, where k is an integer, and we also consider 300 degrees plus 360 degrees times k as our solution, where k is an integer. Okay? So thumbs up naman tayo dyan kung nakuha natin ang ating lesson or example number 2. Ayan, thank you, Daichi, sa iyong pagsagot. Tama na naman ang sagot ni Daichi. Okay? So let's proceed to our next example. Okay, so we have find all the solutions of 4 sine squared x equals 1. Ayan, okay. Sige, fill in the blanks ulit tayo. So we have this trigonometric equation and we are going to find the values of x. Okay? So for the solution, first we need to solve for sine x. Okay? We need to solve for sine x. Okay? So let's just rewrite our given problem or given trigonometric equation. 4 sine squared x is equal to 1. Okay, ano kaya ang susunod na step? Ito na, re-reveal ko na. Okay, kung alam ang sagot ha, comment down na iyong mga sagot. Okay, so, Tutor Romel, bakit po naging ganito? Naging sine squared x is equal to 1/4. From here, naging ganito siya. Ano nangyari? So, the reason is we divide both sides of the equation by 4 because our objective is to solve for sine x. Okay? Kailangan si sine x lang ang matira dito sa left side na to ng ating equality symbol or equal symbol. Okay? Next, we have okay, Tutor Romel, bakit po ang nangyari ay naging sine x is equal to positive negative 1/2? Okay, bakit po naging ganon? Okay, of course, we need to get the square root of both sides of the equation. Bakit natin kinuha ang square root ng both sides? Because as you can see, our sine x here is raised to the second power. And getting the square root of both sides, okay, the square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 4 is 2. Okay? And we are going to obtain the answer positive negative 1/2. Why? Because positive 1/2 times positive 1/2 is equal to 1/4. And so with negative 1/2 times negative 1/2, that is also equal to 1/4. That's why we have positive and negative 1/2. Okay. So now we are ready to find the solutions. Okay, so we are going to find the solution of 1/2 and sine x is equal to 1/2. Okay, in the interval of 0, 2 pi. Okay, so for sine x equals 1/2, kung natatandaan nyo kanina, nakuha na natin to, di ba? For sine x is equal to 1/2, the solution are pi over 6 or 30 degrees. Okay, and 5 pi over 6 or 150 degrees. Okay, thank you na naman sa pagsagot ni Daichi. Okay. While for sine x is equal to negative 1/2, what are our solutions? Okay. X will become, or sine x will become negative 1/2 if x are equal to 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. Okay. Since sine function is periodic, okay, 2 pi. Okay, ayan, ang dami ng sumasagot. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. We can say that here are the solutions of our given trigonometric equation. Okay, so x is equal to pi over 6 plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. Ano pa? We also have x is equal to pi over 6 plus 2k pi, where k is also an integer. Yan, natandaan natin ha. Parang may ano, no? Similarities. Okay? Where k should always be an integer. Okay? We also have x is equal to 7 pi over 6 plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. And the last one is, we also have x is equal to 11 pi over 6 plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. Okay? Okay. Thumbs up ulit tayo kung okay ang kung na-gets natin ang ating third example para sa hapon na ito. Okay? So I hope marami na tayo natututunan. Okay? Actually, ito ay application rin ng ating mga previous lesson. Yung periods, okay? Yung inverse trigonometric function, di ba? Na-apply rin natin talaga lahat dito because mathematics is a final one. Okay? So let's proceed to our next example. Ayan, tama rin po ang sagot ni Elsie Galasio Ignacio. Maraming salamat po. Okay, so let us try to solve for 2 cosine squared x sine x minus sine x equals 0. This time, we already have this so-called restriction, where x must be greater than or equal to 0, but less than 2 pi. Okay? Sige. Bibigyan ko kayo ng time magsagot. Comment down ang inyong sagot habang iinom lang ako sandali ng tubig. Okay. Sige nga, please do comment down your answers. Okay, so fill in the blank ulit tayo dito. So we have the solution. So just write our given trigonometric equation. So what's the next step? Okay. Bakit kaya naging ganito? Sine x times 2 cosine squared x minus 1 is equal to 0. What's the reason behind? We factor out sine x from each term. Okay. Next. What's the next step? Okay. So the next step is, okay, we equate sine x equals 0 or, okay, 2 cosine x or cosine squared x is equal minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? So what's the reason behind? We use the principle of zero product. Okay? So solving this, we can say that saan values of x magiging 0 si sine x? Okay? So sa mga values yon, we have 0 and pi. Okay, dito naman, what's the next step naman dito? Dito sa part na ito ng ating equation. Okay, so we have cosine squared x is equal to 1/2. What happened to Romel? We divide both sides by 2. Okay, and then get the square root. Okay, since our cosine x is in the second power, we need to get the square root. Okay. So we have cosine x is equal to positive negative square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so bakit naging positive negative square root of 2 over 2? Getting the square root, magkakaroon ng radical sign. Okay, we are going to have a radical denominator. So we need to rationalize. That's why we arrive with positive negative square root of 2 over 2. Kung naaalala ninyo ang inyong grade 9 lesson. O, di ba? Kaya huwag niyo kakalimutan ang lahat ng mga napagdaanan yung lesson sa math kasi magagamit natin siya dito. Okay? So, saan ba nagiging positive, negative square root of 2 over 2? See, or from which values of x, okay, nagiging positive, negative square root of 2 over 2 si cosine. Okay? So, we have pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4. Therefore, we can say that the solutions are, ayan, tama yung mga sagot nyo. Thank you, Daichi, 45 degrees. Okay, so the solutions, okay, for this equation, with an interval x must be greater than or equal to 0, but less than 2 pi are 0, pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, pi, 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4. Okay? O, thumbs up ulit ha kapag nag-gets natin ang ating lesson. Okay. Let's proceed to our next example. This time, we're going to solve for sine theta, tangent theta, is equal to sine theta over the interval close 0 degrees, comma 360 degrees open. Okay? Yan ha, kapag bracket, di ba, sa inequality, this is closed. Ibig sabihin, included si 0 degrees. Dito naman, it's an open interval. Ibig sabihin, not included si 360 degrees. Okay? So, tingnan natin. So, again, just rewrite our given trigonometric equation. Comment na kayo ha kung alam na ninyo ang sagot. Okay. Next. Bakit po naging ganito, Tutor Romel? Sine theta, tangent theta, minus sine theta is equal to 0. What's the reason? Subtract sine theta to both sides of the equation. And this illustrates the subtraction property of equality. Okay, SPE. Okay, next. Okay, bakit po naging ganito, Tutor Romel? Sine theta, okay, times tangent theta minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? So the reason behind is we factor out sine theta, factoring a common monomial factor. Okay? And the common monomial factor here is sine theta. Okay? Next step. Okay, sine theta is equal to 0 or tangent theta minus 1 is equal to 0. What is the reason? Okay, once again, we use the principle of zero product. Once again, kailan lang ba nagiging, or what are the values of theta that will make our sine theta be equal to 0? Okay, so the answer, what are the answers? So we have 0 degrees and 180 degrees. Okay, for tangent theta, this will be equal to, okay, 1. Okay? So, saan lang ba nagiging equal si 1? Or, saan nagiging equal to 1 ang tangent theta? From which values of theta? Okay, so, each equation for theta. So, theta is equal to 45 degrees and 225 degrees. Okay, so therefore, what are our answers? Final answer natin? Okay, the solutions are 0 degrees, 45 degrees, 180 degrees, and 225 degrees. Ayan, maraming salamat, Joniel, C. Sungahid, LC Galasio Ignacio, and Daichi Vallejo sa inyong pagiging active na pagsagot sa ating mga exercises or examples. Maraming salamat po. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, next example tayo. So we need to solve for tangent x plus square root of 3 equals secant x over the interval 0 degrees, comma, 2 pi. Okay, tingnan natin. Okay, ready na ba kayo? Ready na rin ako. Okay, yan. So once again, we need to rewrite the equation in terms of a single trigonometric function. Comment na kayo ha kung alam niyo ang sagot. Okay, so we have tangent x plus square root of 3 is equal to secant x. Nire-write lang natin. Okay? We just simply rewrite. Okay? So what's the next step? Okay. So we squared both sides of the equation. Okay? And then the next step, okay, so applying the rules in squaring a binomial, because this is an example of binomial, we have tangent squared x plus 2 square root of 3 tangent x plus 3 is equal to secant squared x. Okay. So, this is the rule in squaring a binomial. Okay, since tangent and secant are related by the identity, okay, what identity is that? Okay, so just a review, no? 1 plus tangent squared x is equal to secant squared x. Okay, so therefore, okay, we can say that tangent squared x plus 2 square root of 3 tangent x plus 3 is equal to 1 plus tangent squared x. What else? It is because of the Pythagorean identity. Okay, napag-aralan na natin yan sa mga previous lesson. Okay, ayan, sumasagot na naman ulit si Daichi. Thank you, Daichi. Okay, so we have 2 square root of 3 tangent x is equal to negative 2. Okay? Okay? So what happened? Bakit naging ganito na? Because we subtract tangent squared x plus 3 to both sides of the equation. Okay, so what will happen next? So tangent x is equal to negative 1 over square root of 3. Okay, we divide both sides by 2 square root of 3. Okay, what will happen next? So therefore, applying once again rationalization, we say that tangent x is equal to negative square root of 3 over 3. Okay, yan. Sabi nga, di ba? Rationalize the denominator. Okay, so the solutions therefore, okay, saan ba, from which values of x between this interval, magiging negative square root of 3 over 3 ang tangent x. Okay, so we have two values. These are 5 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. Ayan, sumasagot na sila. But remember that this solution, 5 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6, are just the solution of negative square root of 3 over 3. Okay? And not the solution of our original equation. Thus, we need to check. Okay? Excited na ba kayo mag-check? Okay, let's check our answer. So let us check the solution. Okay, by simply substituting it to our original trigonometric equation. Okay, so we have tangent 5 pi over 6 plus square root of 3. Is it equal to secant 5 pi over 6? Okay, so we all know that tangent 5 pi over 6 is equal to negative square root of 3 over 3. Okay, so kailangan maging same, okay, similar fraction sila. Okay, and secant 5 pi over 6 is equal to negative 2 square root of 3 over 3. What will happen next? Okay, as you can see, they are not equal, so it's false. Okay, how about when we substitute 11 pi over 6? So we have tangent 11 pi over 6 plus square root of 3 is equal to secant 11 pi over 6. Okay, so tangent 11 pi over 6 is equal to negative square root of 3 over 3 plus 3 square root of 3 over 3 is equal to 2 square root of 3 over 3. Okay, and therefore 2, as we can see here, 2 square root of 3 is equal to 2 square root of 3 over 3. So it's true. So therefore, ayan, tama si Joniel, si Sungahit. We can say that the only solution is 11 pi over 6. Yay! Congratulations! So we have fully accomplished our exercises for today. So, but always remember, when solving trigonometric equations, it is possible to obtain extraneous solution, which you also encounter when you deal with radical solution, okay, during your grade 9. So extraneous solution is a solution of a simplified version of an equation that does not satisfy original equation. Thus, we should always check your solution, our solutions in the equation. Okay? So try to check the solutions of any of the given previous examples and find out whether there are extraneous solutions. So yan ay assignment ko na sa inyo. Okay. So, let us have these activities. I have prepared 5 questions. Okay? 5 questions for us to answer. Sige nga, habang ako ay naghihintay ng inyong mga sagot, babati-bati muna ulit kayo ako. Okay? Hello, greet po sa lahat ng mga mag-aaral ng San Lorenzo Senior High School. I know you are enjoying now your sem break. Salamat pa rin sa inyong pagsama sa ating ETULay session ngayon. Hello rin sa lahat ng aking mga estudyante from 12 STEM 02 and lahat ng mga grade 12 sa San Lorenzo Senior High School. Lahat ng mga nag-a-apply sa UP, don't worry. The Form 2 is already with our school registrar, Ma'am Arlene Progoso, and she is already accomplishing it for everyone. Okay? Hello rin kay Joniel C. Sungahid. Grade 10 pa po ako pero may natutunan na ako all about Trigonometric Equation. Maraming salamat, Joniel, okay, for joining. Okay? At nawa na i-share mo na rin ito, Joniel. And I hope sa mga susunod na session ay or when we go back in a new our old normal, pagkatapos ng pandemic na ito ay ma-meet kita in person. Thank you for being active for our ETULay session today. Okay, ayan. Sige, tingnan natin. Ano ang inyong mga sagot? Okay. I-reveal na natin ang mga sagot. Ready na ba kayo? Okay, for number 1, ang answer natin ay it's letter D. Okay, letter D po. Okay, next. Number 2. It's letter A. Ayan, thank you, Daichi. Tama ang iyong sagot sa number 1. It's letter D. Congratulations. Okay, for number 2, our answer is letter A. Ayan, sige na. Comment na kayo ng inyong mga answer. Okay, for number 3, anong sagot natin? Okay, it's letter A. X equals 5/6. For number 4, our answer is letter B. And for number 5, our answer is letter D. Ayan, sabi nga ni Juniel, number 3 nga daw, letter A. Tama ka, Juniel. Congratulations. Okay. Yan. So, bilang pangwakas, ang math, kayang-kaya, tara at tutulungan kita, itulay natin ang edukasyon hanggang sa matutupa. Magkita-kita tayo pagkatapos po nito ay meron pa akong session for general mathematics. Ang topic naman po natin ay logical operator. Sa math, practice makes permanent. Kaya every Math Talino Friday, kita-kits. Thank you rin, Daichi Vallejo. Kita-kits mamaya may Gen Math pa tayo. Ayan, sabi rin ni John Rain Abo, number 5, letter D daw. Tama ang iyong sagot. Okay. Thank you rin, Miss Elsie Gelacio Ignacio. At nag-iiwan po ako ngayong araw sa inyo ng tahanan, paaralan at komunidad. Kapit-bisig tayo tungo sa kalidad na edukasyon ng ating kabataan. So here are my Facebook page, this is my account, personal account, Romel John Lampas Abalye. Ito yung aking profile picture ha, sa Romel John Lampas Abalye. And then I also have my professional account or teacher account, Sir Romel John Abalye. Then I also have my Twitter, Wakelet, kung saan ko i-upload ang lahat ng mga materials na ginagamit ko dito sa ETULay. And I also have my Laika account. Okay, so follow tayo. Maraming salamat rin, Juniel. Ayan. Thank you rin, Bula at Miranda Apilado. Okay, so see you in our next session. God bless to everyone and to God be the glory. Susunod na ang Gen Math. Magkita-kita tayo. Alam mo na. See you sa Gen Math.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETULay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan sa Lunes mula alauna ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETULay free online tutorial session sa Science. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETULay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!